Yeah, it's horrendous, Elder, and that's a good question. Who are these people working for? What is the point that they're trying to build to? So I think it boils down to, and I don't want to jump the gun, but it's got to come to an end, and we've got to be restored. And so it's going to be a hard way to go, but we got to go through it. We got to go through the wilderness in order to get, to our homeland.
Okay. Okay. All praises. And as it is written,
Hmm.
it's an absolute necessity.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go into that too. And the water for that comment, King. Anybody else? Okay. I'm gonna bring out something briefly. Um, because a lot of people tend to um put a lot of blame on or focus a lot of their anger towards a certain person in a certain position. Now, there are certain ways you just know. There are certain indications that let you know that, well, you know what? When certain people act in a certain way, it's like, wait a minute, you channeling all of your anger toward this person. Maybe it's not that particular person you should be channeling your anger towards, or maybe it's something else going on behind the scenes. We're gonna pull out a few indicators, and I'm gonna share a video with y'all real quick
Okay.
um, about what I'm talking about. I don't know. Have y'all seen the video where actually um, Trump was actually speaking about something in particular? Uh, I think it was a type of medication or something,
I have not.
Like
right?
Tylenol and autism and
Yeah,
Tylenol.
yeah. Y'all, you remember that?
Yeah, I can't remember all about it, but because he was saying that, hey, Tylenol is causing autism, but take it off or whatever. I can't remember the whole point of it. I just heard a little news clip about it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna bring it out so everybody will know what it is I'm speaking about, because at the end of the day, we're gonna be on the same page on this one. Hang on just a sec. Let me go in and pull this up. All right, I'm gonna play this video real quick, just so we'll all have an understanding about what's going on. All right,
All right.
all right.
Effective immediately, the FDA will be notifying physicians that the use of well, let's see how we say that. Acetaminophen, acetaminophen. Is that okay? Which is basically commonly known as Tylenol during pregnancy, can be associated with a very increased risk of autism. So taking Tylenol is not good. All right, I'll say it. It's not good. For this reason, they are strongly recommending that women limit Tylenol use during pregnancy unless medically necessary. That's, for instance, in cases of extremely high fever, that you feel you can't tough it out, you can't do it. I guess there's that. It's a small number of cases, I think. But if you can't tough it out, if you can't do it, uh, that's what you're going to have to do. You'll take a Tylenol.
Okay, all right, family. Notice he um he mentioned and he wanted to outlaw something that he couldn't even pronounce, right? You know what that reminds me of? I'm gonna show you what that reminds me of. Do y'all remember the movie Life? Let me show you what that reminds me of, because this particular individual, his name was Hoppin' Bob. And Hoppin' Bob, he went back and he was told something by his boss,
Right.
and then he went back to tell it to the prisoners and couldn't even pronounce the words right. So let's take a look at old Hoppin' Bob, y'all.
Bear with me just a moment here. We'll be right back here.
He did not know how to pronounce those words because they did not come from him.
Right.
Okay, family? He is not, um, of course, we get mad at the president all the time because we never get to see who the puppet master is. We never get to see that. You're not going to see that individual on TV. You're not. Why? Uh, Local media, broadcasting, they control all of that. So when you follow the yellow brick road, if you are fortunate enough to get to them, you're gonna see you got that little man back there pulling all these strings. It's not who you think it is.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna go a little bit deeper um, today. Um, we're getting ready to go to a place to find out why in the world, and even when it comes to the ones he works for, why would they think to harm this many people, this many innocent, hardworking people in our society? It would seem as if they would want people to do well and to live well, so they can continue being productive, right? Let's see. All right. Um, Now, before we go into the oracles, did anyone else have any comment, anything they wanted to comment on based on what we just witnessed or what was just stated?
Yeah, I think that's a good segue, Elder, because he's definitely not. That position does not carry the weight that we think it would.
Okay, okay, and you're absolutely right. Um, well, let's go and let's take a look. Let's just go to the book of Jeremiah because everybody is very, very familiar with Christendom. Most of us came from Christian background. I myself, Southern Baptist, so on and so forth. What we're going to do is we're going to go to book of Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 21. And we're going to pull this, we're going to visit this scripture. We're going to pull this one out um, because it's dealing with something most of us are familiar with, but then something that no one speaks about. So we're going to read verse 21 and we're going to pause and we're going to take it to verse 23.
All right. It's the book of Yirmiyahu, chapter 10 and verse 21. It says, "For the pastors are become brutish and have not sought Yahweh. Therefore, they shall not prosper. And all their
Right there.
flocks." Oh, man.
I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead, King.
I'll finish it out. "And all their flocks shall be scattered."
Now, he's talking about the pastors here. We have all been we thought we were, the very ones we thought we were blessed with. Right here, this particular scripture is letting us know what we thought was a blessing may have been part of a curse. We just didn't know about it.
Right.
So I'm going to say it again. We thought we were blessed to have pastors, but these same things that we considered blessings, they look like curses. Wait a minute, his flock is going to be scattered? What? That don't sound right to me. Read on, King. Next verse.
Verse 23. O Yahweh, I know that the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man to walk, to direct his steps.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Ooh. Salakia, was that it, King?
Yes, I said it incorrectly. Let me correct it. It is not in man that walk to direct his steps.
Khan. What is it saying right here? Even when it comes down to the pastors, these pastors that are doing these things, misleading us, leading us up a dark alley, and these flocks, as a part of a flock that's being scattered, he's letting us know right here, they do these things, yet they are not the ones directing their own steps. So who's doing it? We're going to read on. We're going to find out. We're going to bring out some more examples. We're going to bring out some more precepts. And while we're doing that, let's go over and we're going to go back a little bit. Let's go to the book of Exodus chapter 7. And we're going to read verse 13.
All right.
Exodus chapter 7 and verse 13. We're going to read that. Bring it out, King.
All right. It's the book of Exodus chapter 7 and verse 13. It says, and he hardened Pharaoh's heart, that he hearkened not unto them, Salakia, as Yahweh had said.
Wow, right there. We went back a little bit to get a little information on what has been done. Sometimes if you want to know what's happening to you currently, sometimes you got to go back a little bit to find out what has happened before. Now, he says specifically in that scripture, and while I'm commenting on this, and we're going to go to Proverbs 20 and read and bring out verse 24. Now, he also said right here, hey, I was the one that hardened the heart of the Pharaoh. Now, wait a minute now. Weren't we, wasn't he coming there to rescue us?
Right.
Doesn't it seems a little counterproductive? It might seem that way. However, this is the Most High we're talking about. He does what he does for reasons sometimes, especially at those times, reasons he may only know. So let's bring out Proverbs 20 and 24. Once again, we're precepting here. Bring it out, King.
It's the book of Proverbs chapter 20 and verse 24. Man's going are of Yahweh. How can a man then understand his own way?
There you go. Sometimes you have done things. Sometimes you would do things. And in hindsight, like, man, I don't know what I was thinking when I did that, man.
Right.
What in the world, man? I done messed up bad, man. This one right here, it's gonna cost me a whole lot of money, cost me a whole lot of time, and I'm gonna be embarrassed about this too, because somebody else knows about it. So Most High said it right here, and we're gonna stay in Proverbs. Let's go down a little bit to verse 21, and let's just read verse 1 real quick. Proverbs 21 and verse 1. Once again, we're precepted. This is something that's going on right now as we speak. Bring it out, King.
All right. Book of Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh. As the rivers of water, he turneth whithersoever he will.
Right here, he is letting you know, yeah, whether you speaking about our the chief executive officer, or you talking about that little man behind the curtains when they followed the yellow brick road.
Yeah.
Um, he's the one. Although that little man behind the curtain was pulling some strings, there was someone else controlling him. This is what he's letting you know. They don't have full control of what they do. He said, I'm doing these things. Now, for the life of me, I probably wouldn't fully be able to understand why these things are done. Like, for instance, why would our leadership do things that would harm people? Why would it do that? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But concerning that matter, the Most High said something that he mentioned something about that. Let's go to the book of Isaiah, because now, no, let me take that back. Before I go to the book of Isaiah, I want to bring something out real quick. And this is in the book of Ecclesiastes. We're going to go over the book of Ecclesiastes and read. We're going to bring out chapter 7. Now, we're going to go over Ecclesiastes for this reason and this reason only, because this is concerning a lot of things that's happening right now, things we've been praying about. We're losing people. People are getting sick all the time. People are dying on us, and we don't understand. We have no understanding of what's happening with all these things, because it's devastating. It hurts. So we live in a society that birthdays. Oh, happy birthday, by the way. All praise to the Most High Yahweh for keeping any of you here, for another year. My sis being one of them. But I just wanna put this out there, because there are certain things that we put a lot of emphasis on that the Most High don't put emphasis on at all. And he's going to let you know how he feels about these things. And understand, when these things are mentioned, don't get your feelings hurt. Just understand, this is coming from the Most High, and he's going to tell you something about these things afterwards to let you know where he stands about your feelings. Now, does the Most High care about our feelings, family?
No, Elder, not at all.
He don't care about them, does he? Okay, so we have certain sects, certain cults that they zero in on our women and children primarily. That's how the devil does. Even since the Bible, even since the Garden of Eden, he didn't zero in on Adam. He zeroed in on Eve, because he was like, this right here, this is an emotional creature. And I'm going to tap into her emotions, and I'm going to get her good. See, I know I can't pull that on Adam, but see, I'm going to tap into her emotions. I'm going to get her on my side. And I know Adam going to roll with her, so because he don't want to lose her, So let's see, because we have to get our hearts and our minds and our hearts, family. We have to get them in the right place for what's happening now and for what's getting ready to come, because there are some things that are getting ready to go down that are not going to be pleasant. He has to get us ready for those things. Just like when you go into a gym, when you go out on and run track and you're being conditioned, when you're out there being conditioned, if you haven't, everybody knows, if you ain't ran track in a while and you out there running around in the sun, you're going to feel like a monkey done jumped on your back after the first 2 minutes.
Right.
You're going to be out of breath. You're going to be breathing hard. It's gonna feel like a downright punishment.
Mhm.
And don't think now you ain't been in the gym, you ain't been on a track in 5 years, and you done got out there trying to do the same thing you did 5 years ago.
Right.
You ran track, you probably went in and then started bench pressing. A couple of days later, you walking around like the Tin Man. You can barely move. You try to sit down, you've been doing squats, and you can't even, it just ooch out, it hurt. Can't move. It hurt. You did too much.
Right.
You done went overboard. That's why there's certain things you gotta work up to that level.
Right.
That's why the Most High has us in here. He has us in the gym every Shabbat,
Right.
every Saturday. He said, I don't want you coming in here every now and again. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to get hurt. So let's get our minds right. And these are things here. These are the types of truths that could hurt you if you are not ready. You have not been getting your mind and your heart right. This can hurt you. Let's bring it out, King. Ecclesiastes chapter 7. We're going to read 1 and we're going to pause.
All right. Book of Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 1. A good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth.
Uh-oh. What is he saying? What is being said right here? Your day of death, a day of death, is better than a day of birth. What? Look, that's not how we was raised. We were not raised like that, family. Wait a minute. A day of death hurts. I don't want to hear about nobody's death. I don't want nobody to die. Okay? So, but when a birthday comes around, we celebrate that day, and some people they done migrated to, they don't just celebrate it that day. Boy, they like, this is my birthday month. The whole month I got a birthday. I'm doing something every night. I'm gonna party like it's 1999. Right? They going off. So next verse, King.
All right, verse 2. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting, for that it is an end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart.
Ooh, hold up now. Wait a minute. That don't sound right. We don't, this is not what we weren't conditioned like that. Wait a minute. The house of mourning being better. What? Well, let's see. Let's get some clarity on it. Next verse, King.
Verse 3. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better.
Oh, right there. Hold up now. In order for him to work on your heart, you got to lose something. Somebody got to die. Somebody has to die. What in the world is this about? Hold up. What's that next verse, King?
Verse 4. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of the fools is in the house of mirth.
Ooh. Oh, wait a minute. So in other words, he ain't gonna have you running around here just being happy all the time, holding hands, singing Kumbaya. That is why is it like that? Let's see. Let's go and take a look at the book of Isaiah, chapter 55. And we're going to read verse 8. And we're going to pause. Why? Because we're trying to get some more insight on why does it have to be that way. Wait a minute. Now, if you've done everything you're supposed to do, if you're doing all these things, and wait a minute, why does this stuff have to keep happening? All right.
All right. Book of Isaiah, chapter 55 and verse 8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are my ways, neither are your ways my ways, said Yahweh.
He is letting us know right there, period, point blank. I don't think the way you do. You don't think the way I do. Your ways are not my ways. All right. And he's getting ready to shed a little more light on that. Next verse, King.
Verse 9. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts.
My thoughts are so high, you can never reach them. You would never reach my thoughts. I want you to think on a higher level. I want you to be better. There's certain things that must be exercised in you in order to make you better. And I know what these things are, even if you can't explain them. That is my ways. Next verse, King.
Verse 10. It says, for the rain cometh down, and the snow from Shamaim, or from heaven, and runneth not there, but watereth the earth, and maketh to bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower, and bread to the eater.
Okay. And read that next verse, King.
Verse
Last
11.
one.
So shall the word, so shall my word be so that my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the things whereto I send it.
Kai. Right here, he's saying my words are not going to return to me void. He said, either you're going to do these things or you're not. There are consequences and repercussions for not doing my word, whether you fully understand them or not. It's kind of like when you have a child and you tell that child not to do something and they continue to do that something. What are you going to do then?
You're going to be moved to wrath. I'm serious, Elder. That's what happened, you know?
You know what? Anybody else want to comment on that? Because as a father, okay, look, period, point blank. We gonna move something. Something getting ready to happen. We getting ready to take some kind of action. Now, anybody else want to comment on that? Please.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's gonna be a big one, cause it's like if you telling them not to do something, they keep on doing it. I don't know. It's like more is coming. You already warned them. You warned them.
There you go. Sometimes a child does not listen. They're not gonna listen. At the end of the day, the Most High told us he was gonna send our children here with full of folly. What does the word folly mean?
Foolish.
It means
Foolishness bound in the heart of fire.
yes, foolish. Our children are gonna be foolish. They are foolish by design. So every now and again, especially when they are little, you have to rat-a-tat-tat. You got to make a move. You got to move something in order to get the desired outcome. Leave my stuff alone. Get your stinking little paws off that electrical circuit. You're going to electrocute yourself. You're going to kill yourself. You're going to be smelling like burnt bacon in the house. All right. So before that happens, I'm gonna fry your little behind.
Right.
I would rather do that than to have you running around you get your butt electrocuted like that. I have heard parents say, well, I don't raise my children that way. I will never put my hands on my child because I love my child. I said, so what are you going to do? I'm going to talk to him and say, little Johnny, don't do that. Don't do that, little Johnny. Okay, and little Johnny looking at him. And next thing you know, and they try that stuff in stores too. And I've seen little Johnny, I'm just going to put his name, and I've seen little Johnny have so much disrespect in his mama that he'll go up to his mama and slap her. What? Who you talking to, mama? No, Johnny, I love you. Really? You better you better move something. Because if you don't move something when they're little, boy, when they grow up, they're going to be moving you all around the house.
Yeah.
Already, they got them slapping their parents in the face.
Pop! Whenever they get ready. Let's read about it, y'all. Let's bring it out. Let me just bring out one more precept in Psalms 119 and 113. Psalms 119 and 113. We're going to pull this out because at the end of the day, the way we are thinking, the way certain mothers and even certain fathers are thinking concerning these matters, that's a problem. You can't allow people to grow up thinking they just do what they want to do in this world, whatever they feel, because a lot of these things are very harmful, not only to them, but they're very harmful to others too. That's a disaster. So we're going to examine Psalms 119 and 113. That's also a precept of what we've already read. Bring it out, King.
I believe that's Shemek. I hate vain thoughts, but your
Yes,
Torah do I love.
there you go. I hate your vain. He said, I hate them. What you feel, what you thinking all the time stinks to me.
Right.
I don't like it, especially if it goes against my laws, statutes, commandments, Torah. Since the beginning, I told you as an Israelite that if you spare the rod, you are going to spoil your child. You're not just going to spoil them for the day. You're going to spoil that child forever because that's going to be the one that when the cops pull them over, they're going to be all up in their face.
Right.
Byron, I told you, Byron. What? No, these people are looking for reasons to smoke you. Looking for it. Okay? So what he's saying today, there are some things going on that we need to correct. In this world today, there are things going on that should not be going on. Let's take a look in the book of Isaiah chapter 3. Isaiah chapter 3, and we're going to read verse 12 real quick because there are some things going on in this world today that's creating situations where we're actually part of the problem. You know, we're already cursed. We know it. Most of us know we're already cursed, but there are certain things we're doing. You know, we know it's already bad. But we're adding, you know, it's like a fire already burning. But instead of us going over there putting some water on it or trying to smother the fire, we're over there pouring fuel on it. Woo!
Right.
Now that's a fire right there. That's a fire. Look at that fire over there. Woo! So let's see how we put fires on it, family. Bring it out, King.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 3 and verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead you cause you to err, and destroy the ways the way of the path, of your path, Slaki.
On right there, family. A lot of parents go into their household these days, and their kids make them go to their room. Make that make sense.
What
Go to
you
your
say?
room, mother.
Well, that don't make sense.
Yeah, but that's what's happening. A lot of parents don't talk about it, but that's exactly what happened because these kids are grown up. They've taken over the house, and they telling mama what to do. Um, and in the same book, let's go back to let's go to read verse 5 real quick. What does this lead to? Read verse 5, King. Isaiah 3, read verse 5 real quick, please.
Verse 5, it says, and the people shall be oppressed, every one by another, and every one by his neighbor. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient, and the base against the honorable.
Right now, a lot of children in this world have no respect. They have no morals. They have no values. And
So true.
society pushes that. Society enforces that. They encourage it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of parents have bought into it, and a lot of parents are just afraid.
Mm.
A lot of parents are scared of what's
Oh yes.
happening
Totally.
with these situations because it is absolutely and it is utterly devastating because the Most High told us from day one how we are to conduct ourselves with our children.
Look
And
here.
society has even made it a somewhat of a crime to raise your own children right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the society we live in. And what does that lead to? It leads to oppression. We are being oppressed by the oppressor, yet because we don't follow the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments, we are being oppressed by our own children, our own family members, our own neighbors. We're oppressing each other's too. So once again, what is this called? Fuel on the fire.
Mm-hmm.
We put gasoline on the doggone fire. Gasoline, kerosene, whatever kind of. We even put moonshine on it if that ain't enough.
Indeed.
Now that's a fire. Make that a big fire right there.
It
So
is it because of you saying that the parents are not teaching and not training? They added more fuel to the fire by not doing it. Our families, our people.
exactly, exactly. We are a part of the problem.
Yeah, I can believe that. As I always say, parents, it goes back to you. The child can come out the womb and saying, "Okay, I'm gonna cuss you out, and I'm gonna tell you to go to your room, and I'm gonna go rob the liquor store, and I'm gonna do all this." That child didn't come out the womb doing that. It's called the parental training. They have to teach them about that law. But
Correct.
the parents have to follow the law and be obedient to it as
Correct.
well. You know.
Correct. So outside of oppression, this also leads to something else. Let's go, let's stay in the book of Isaiah. Let's read let's go to chapter 5 and let's pull up verse 13 real quick because this also leads to something else that's described in a way that that's actually different than what we were told by pastors, by society, all of these different denominations, aka also known as cults.
Mm-hmm.
They don't talk about these things. So Isaiah 5, let's read verse 13 real quick.
Verse 13. Therefore, my people have gone into captivity because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitudes dried up with thirst.
Mm, mm. Read that next verse, King.
Verse 14. Therefore, hell have enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure, and their glory, and their multitude, and their prompt, and he that rejoiceth shall descend unto it.
Family, I don't know if you heard what the king just read. You need to hear these words. This is the oracles of none other than the Most High Yahweh, family. He just described this as hell for his Israelites. This is a form of hell for us. There's no peace in your household if your child is cussing you out. Ain't no peace in your household if your wife is cussing you out on a daily, disrespecting you in the streets. She all out in the streets, buck naked. The kids are embarrassing you in public. There's no peace in that. That is hell. Everything that the Most High gave us, the things that he left, these instructions, these guides, if we were to do these things, practice and rehearse these things as Israelites, it's to keep you away from hell. You're going to have more peace in your life. You're going to be able to sustain your livelihood. And better yet, if you do these things, there's a better chance that you can live longer. Right. You won't be as sick all the time. You won't be as gullible all the time. When the enemy comes to you and tells you to do something, you won't be so quick to get on it and do it. Oh yeah, because the white man said I need to do it, so I need to do it. Right. So lives, because he's a good man.
Indeed, Elder.
No. At the end of the day, he told us when we walk, since he put us here amongst wolves, he put us here amongst wolves. Therefore, he expects us to be as wise as sheep, but gentle as doves. Family, it is dangerous. It is very, very dangerous here. A lot of people will tell you it's dangerous when you walk outside your door, which it is. It is dangerous out there. But they have found ways into our homes. How have they found ways into our home? You can't even go into your house and run water. You can't even run water without having what they got up in there. They got cleaning detergents in there. They got, man, why you got to put Clorox in the water? Ajax and Borax and you got all these other harmful chemicals up in the water. That's devastating. And then things that protected us back in the day, that kept us covered in our households, they took those things out. A lot of people didn't know that lead-based paints, ain't no kids just sitting around eating lead-based paints getting sick. They wanted to take the lead-based paints out of the house so they can so it makes it easier for them to zone in and tap into your house. They can't really tap into it when you got lead-based paint. It's a barrier and it blocks certain signals. That is the reason why they wanted you to take it out of your house. I don't know, man, kids sitting around just eating paint. Ooh, this show is some good paint. Eat that. They use that as an excuse to deter you away from doing certain things that block signals. That blocks signals, also your microwave, put your phone in there, don't hide it. But other than that, no, they are zeroing in most of the time. You just don't know it. And also, as far as for being wise, just know, always use as much as possible. Always adhere to certain things in the Bible, especially when it tells you what not to eat. Don't eat those things. Please don't eat those things, especially now. He told you to stay away from certain foods. Don't be eating pork. Don't be eating, sitting, on these holidays where he said you sitting behind a tree, eating swine and the mouse. Do y'all know what it means when it says the mouse eating the mouse? Who eating the mouse, family?
I thought that was overseas. I think that's a delicacy over in Asia.
Okay, okay. Anybody else? Con?
You
The
said
Chinese,
mouse? Oh,
Chinese.
Chinese and other Asian nations, I guess.
Okay, that's what I thought as well. That's what I thought as well. But I'm gonna bring it up for y'all because at the end of the day, there were things that you know, there are certain things that I think, what is that scripture? Isaiah 66 and 17. Let's pull that out real quick. Isaiah 66 and 17.
All right, hold on, Elder. Let me get to it.
So yeah, we're going to pull out Isaiah 66 and verse 17. We're going to examine this scripture, and then I'm gonna enlighten y'all on something that I didn't even know. I didn't even know. So we'll talk about it.
Isaiah chapter 66, verse 17. They that
Uh,
sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the garden behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh, and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, saith Yahweh.
Con, con. I'm gonna let y'all in on the mouse. Now, most people know about because y'all did bring out the Chinese and the fact that they literally eat rats and so on and so forth. However, there were some things we too were eating, and we've been a lot of folks down south still do it to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Another type of rat that a lot of Southerners are eating, they ain't supposed to be eating. You ain't supposed to be eating no coon and sweet potatoes, family. Let's keep it.
What about possum?
You ain't supposed to be eating no possum.
None of
That's
that.
considered a rat. That's a
None,
big rat.
none of that stuff. You're
All
supposed
right. Family, that is not for you. Can't eat no possum. You can't eat no coon. You can't, them squirrels, family. He said that is not for you. Let the other nations do that. We learned that from the other nations, by the way. Um, a lot of us have done it. Some of us have done it not even knowing. A lot of times you know what you was eating. But um, but the bottom line is those are big rats according to the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, family. So we can't do that.
Right.
Those things will eventually make us sick.
Very.
We would get very ill eating those things.
Right.
Our system is not designed to process certain things that other people's systems are designed to process. Like for instance, even when it comes to breaking down dairy products, some of us can get away with it some of the time. Some of us can't never get away with it. Man, you get dairy in some of us, it'll tear our behinds up.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because our systems are not designed for that.
Right.
Simply, that's all it means. Our systems are not. And as sure as our systems are not designed for certain things that theirs are designed for, there's something their system is not designed for. Their system is not designed for these laws, statutes, and commandments, family. It's not for them. It's not for them.
I was
It's
going to say
not.
to her, Elder.
Another thing is not designed for them, especially if you think about it. There's no such thing as somebody turning back to go back to something, go back to a place they've never been to. They've never been there. It's not for them. Those are the ones that he said, I never knew you. I didn't know you from day one. So how I'm gonna know you on day two? What you doing up in here? You what? Your soul, your ancestors. Now one of them was up in the house, and now you showed up all of a sudden talking about you repenting, you coming back to your home. No, you came from a whole cave. You came from a whole cave in some rocks. How about you go back over there? Because at the end of the day, he said everybody's going back to where they are from. Family. And just understand, all the nations on this earth, all the nations on this planet are blessed through Israel, by Israel. Just because they hanging out with us, they get blessed. Why? All of these crumbs, all these blessings that are on us, they get some of them too. All these crumbs falling on them. Boy, they just loving that. That is the reason why in the last days, they are going to be cleaving to us. They are going to be cleaving to us because they know. But don't let all of your blessings, because you giving all your blessings to them, these things can be a curse to you and your family. These people will ride you. They will use you until they use you up. Trust me. Don't let nobody use you up. It's okay to be kind, but we have to concentrate. It takes a lot of concentration in getting back to this truth. This is not easy. We are out here working out, okay? We running track. We in the gym trying to pump that iron. We got to get stronger in this truth because there are some things getting ready to happen. You have to be refined for these things because if you don't know, because if you really think about it, think about this for a minute. In life, if you have only had it good in your life, all your life, right? If you've only had it good, if you think about it, you're going to be in a totally different mindset. You are not going to know what to do when things turn bad. When it turns bad, you are not going to know what to do. You've never experienced pain in your life. You're going to think you're about to die.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting ready to show you some things where you have to be conditioned. You have to be hardened in a certain way where these things are not going to affect you as bad as somebody that has never dealt with it before.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be ready for what's getting ready to come. That is the reason why, like people will tell you straight up, when it comes to tabernacles, they'll look you in your eye and straight up tell you, I ain't going out there sleeping in no tent. I got a whole house. I ain't never sleeping in no tent. I'm blessed. You can say that all you want. But as it is written, there are certain things that are getting ready to go down. When he burns this place down,
Right.
you got to be ready for what's getting ready to come. Just like when we were in Egypt, we didn't leave Egypt and go straight into a house somewhere.
Right.
We didn't go check in at Hotel Del.
Right.
Really? We ain't do that.
Mm-hmm.
None of that stuff existed. Our behinds were led straight to the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't just go to the wilderness as a bump stop. We're going to stay here for about 4 days. Then when we leave here, we're going to head over yonder and we're going to go on over there and we're going to go into some suites. We got some suites over there waiting for us and we're going to go and check in.
Right.
Look, family, we were there for how long?
40 years.
We was there for 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
40.
Mm-hmm.
And those 40 years we were there, it was like that for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody had to die.
Right.
He was waiting for certain people to die off in those 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those old heads wasn't going to change because they had gotten too comfortable in Egypt. And a lot of those stinking things they were doing in Egypt, they couldn't shake it. They couldn't let it go. They was out there complaining, oh, I missed that God I had. But I sure had a good God when we was in Egypt. Man, he sure made me feel good. Ooh, man, I need that God again. He said, all right, let me go and handle this situation. I see what this is. You ain't changing. So at the end of the day, we need to really examine ourselves, because at the end of the day, there are some things happening. There are a lot of pains we have endured. There are certain pains we continue to endure. There was a funeral this weekend. There was a young pastor that just passed away, and somebody asked me, said, "Hey, did you know Pastor so and so?" I said, no. I hadn't actually been. I said, is he one of those pastors that's he's preaching on a Sunday? I said, I have not been in a Sunday school, had at a church on Sunday in years. So there's a lot of them I don't know. I may have heard of the name, but I don't know. I don't roll with them. I don't. Um, and they said, "Oh, well, see that pastor, everybody loved him. It was a big old funeral, and he had passed away. He was 52 years old." I said, "Was he sick?" "No, he wasn't sick or nothing like that. Nobody know what happened. He just died mysteriously. It was just his time to go." I said, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that." I said, condolences to the family and everything. I didn't want to go into a lot because I know these people that I was speaking to wasn't trying to hear anything other than what they had been taught. They weren't changing. And you know, one of my neighbors, I mean, his mother, she had a stroke, and he came over to my house and asked me to pray for her, and I asked him, I said, "Where was your mother when she had the stroke?" He thought about it for a minute. He knew who he was dealing with because I had been trying to reel this brother in, and he said, "Well, see, that's why I wanted you to pray because she was in church on a Sunday, uh, at the altar." I said, "Wait. Say that again. She was at the what?" "Yeah, she was at the altar on Sunday, and she had a stroke." I said, "Oh my God." I said, "You know what? But she's still here. She can still hear your words." He said, "Yeah, she can still hear me. She respond to words and everything." I said, "Well, you know what?" I said, "Let her know, YahShay, brother, aka brother Jesse, will pray for her. But in truth, I said, I'm gonna pray that the Most High can restore her to learn and do His will and His will only, so He can glorify Him. She can glorify Him and Him only." And I said, at the end of the day, my brother, I said, the greatest love I can give you today, and the greatest love you could give your mother, is the truth. At least she survives. I know people that have died in church on Sunday. He's killing more and more people. I hear about a death almost every month in church.
Wow.
We're not supposed to be. The Most High is not playing anymore. We are in the last days, family. This is it. He is tightening this grip. He is changing. He's refining us in a certain way to get us ready. Just like we read the scripture. I read the scripture that stated that through death, through pain, through mourning, we learn things. He wants us to learn. We have to learn from what's happening to these people. Our brothers and sisters are being taken right now. We're in tribulation. Our brothers and sisters are being taken for a reason. And a lot of these people we are going to miss. We love them, but we need to learn something from them. And we have to condition ourselves and be better for the Most High Yahweh. Because I don't want to see any more of our brothers and sisters taken unnecessarily. I don't want to see nobody or he witness nobody else getting sick unnecessarily. Okay? Our first line of defense when we are not feeling well is who, family?
Yahweh.
Yahweh. The Most High. So if we are sick, we are ill, we need to remember it. Ezekiel 47:12. Let's bring that scripture out real quick, family. Ezekiel 47:12, real quick. We're going to bring this out because we're going to bring Ezekiel out because the Most High said something. Okay, because we live in a world today where people They trust our enemies so much
Mm-hmm.
that we have fallen victim to putting all our trust in. We've just forgotten what the Most High told us. And let's examine some of what the Most High told us. Bring it out, King.
Ezekiel chapter 47 and verse 12. And by the river upon the bank thereof, on the side and on that side, shall grow all trees for meat, whose leaves shall not fade, neither shall the fruit thereof be consumed. It shall bring forth new fruit according to his months, because their waters shall they shall issue. Slaki. Because their waters they issue out of the sanctuary, and the fruit thereof shall be for meat, and the leaf thereof for medicine.
Khan, right there, family. He is letting us know medicine grows on trees for his Israelites. That is our first line of defense. When we are not feeling well, we are feeling ill, we need to consort the Most High first. We can even do a Google search on what leaves, what plants help with certain ailments. As a matter of fact, some of us don't even eat enough leaves of plants or vegetables for that matter. We don't. So sometimes when we are sick, that's the human body telling us there's something too much acid. We've eaten too many things that's not good for us. There's certain things that's bad for us, or we're not eating enough things that are good for us. He's telling us right here, sometimes we need to change our diet when we're not feeling well. We need to change our diet sometime. And there are certain plants, there are certain fruits, if you will, vegetables that could rid our bodies of acid. Because a lot of times certain acid in our bodies is only because there's certain ate certain things that loaded our bodies up with acid. So there are some things we can do behind the scenes before we have to go to the doctor, because these doctors are going to load us up with poison. Poison is going to make certain symptoms diminish, but it might bring out maybe we're going to add maybe 2 or 3 more symptoms. We're going to create certain other conditions in the body to make them come back for more medicine so we can keep getting paid from Big Pharma. They are making us sick, family. They are making us very, very ill. I do at this time, unless you have broken something, you really, really ill from something, be very careful, because they are giving us things that's making us sick, and I'm just sick of them. I'm sick. I'm sick of them. Um, so as sure as these lawmakers are making laws that are sending people to work with no pay while they are still getting paid, just know that behind the scenes they are doing more things that are devastating, very harmful. And there's gonna come a time, because as Yah is my witness, there's getting ready to come a time where certain things that did happen are gonna happen again. There was a time when I remember a time when people didn't have medical insurance because they couldn't afford it. There's going to be another time where people ain't got no medical insurance because they can't afford it. I just heard this week somebody's insurance went up from 400 a month to what, 1,800 a month all of a sudden, and they not stopping there. They are getting ready to price people out. They're not going to be able to afford the simple luxuries of life. They're not. So, all of these things contained in the laws, statutes, and commandments are to make you better and to better prepare you for what's to come. There's going to come a time you're not going to be able to live in a house, a regular house, trailer house. Folks are getting kicked out of Section 8 houses Some folk, there's going to be more and more people living in tents, period. So you better right now on at least during tabernacles, at least practice it during that time. Learn how to live off the grid. That's what it boils down to. Learn how to live off the grid. Do you know how to pitch a tent? Do you know how to get solar power to power up your phone? Or do you know how to use a walkie-talkie? Do you know it's just certain little things that it's good to know? Do you know how to go fishing? To fish for your food? Do you know how to grill outside? Living off the grid, family, it's important. But all of these things matter, and they matter more than anything. And on that day of atonement, the Most High said, "Don't eat anything or drink anything." That's a dry fast. That's a way of him conditioning you. He's getting you ready. That's a way to eradicate certain parasites from your mind, body, and your soul. So all of these things are good for Israelites. It is designed for Israelites only. Christ came for Israelites only. The ones he came for were the same ones he died for. That's why he said, my birthday don't even matter. That's why I was stated, forget my birthday. I want you to know that I lived. And I lived as an example for you. And I died for you. I gave up my life for you. How about you remember that? And stop listening to these people that talk about, oh, he has risen on the day he's risen. And so they can celebrate a doggone egg running around egg laying bunny rabbit. He said, remember my death. These people killed me. I didn't do anything wrong to them, but I did it for you. The least we can do is listen to his Father. And as stated, he said, you know what? He said, and all these people out there talking about they know me. He said, no, you don't. He said, you know me, you love me. He said, you know what? What about Moses? Moses wrote of me. But yet you want to follow a cult that's going to tell you, oh, no, don't worry about no laws. Christ did all that. Don't worry about that. Oh, forget about the Torah. Don't worry about the Old Testament, none of that. Now, all that stuff don't matter. See, he got rid of that. See, he already nailed that on the tree. See, you ain't got to worry about none of that. Okay, well, what we gonna do about it? What about what Christ said? We're not gonna deal with that either. This is a person. This is a being that was crucified, gave up his life for his people, which is one of the reasons y'all took joy in crucifying him, because he wasn't here for y'all. He was only here for his people. You killed him then, and now you are still, to this day, trying to systematically kill everything he was about. But guess what? The saints have arrived. We will not let them do that. We will not. We have enough love in our hearts to continue to do these things. We are going to continue to do these things that his Father told us to do, and we're going to continue to do the things that he did when he was here. He was the Son of the Most High God. He had to do these things. So who are we to think that we don't have to, and we're not even the son of the Most High God? Family, who are we? When it comes down to the order of, we are not in the same order he was in, but he was humble enough and obedient enough to do it. So that is the least we can do. And if we do not, and harm comes up on us, Who do we have to blame? Who do we blame? Okay. I'm going to read one last scripture. I'm going to bring out one more because at the end of the day, there are some things that have happened, certain things that are happening, but I just wanted to let everyone know that these things happen for one reason and one reason only. We can blame we can blame we can blame an orangutan all we want. We can do that. We can blame the rest of the cabinet members. We can blame Mitch. We can blame whoever. And some of us are still blaming Musk. Boy, some of us done got so mad at Musk. What do? We even went and let's bring out Isaiah 45:7. We so mad, a lot of folks so mad at Musk. Boy, they out there mean mugging the Teslas. Doggone Tesla. How you gonna ride around in a Tesla after what Elon Musk done did? Yeah, you sell out. You done sold out driving around in that Tesla. Need to go and get you a Chevy or something. Right.
Musk is gone. He ain't worried about the orangutan. Musk is gone.
Indeed. All right, it's the book of
Get out,
Isaiah,
King.
chapter 45 and verse 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things.
Khan, the Most High, and let's keep in mind again, we do not think the way He does. We are dealing with the Most High God. He is the one that created all of your demons. He created everything good, everything bad. He created all. Not only did He create butterflies, but He created snakes too.
Mm-hmm.
The puff-eyed adder, the black mamba, if you will. Boy, that snake's so devastating, man. He'll bite you. You'll take off running, and he'll run you down and bite you again.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get away from him.
Right.
Man, that thing that took horses out, man. You ain't out running no horse.
Mm-hmm.
But the Most High created these things. So not only did He create them, when these demons come into your life, when these demons, whether they are in the form of an orangutan or a musk, He created them those so-called demons too. He created them. And He also, based on what we read, He controls what they do. He controls when they do it, how they do it. He said, I do all these things.
Mm-hmm.
That is the reason why it's so important to fear Him. When a demon comes into your house, keep in mind one thing. If you are an Israelite, it's not the demon you really got the problem with.
Mm-hmm.
You got a problem with the Most High. You need to examine yourself and figure out what you've done wrong or what you need to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that's about. If you are broke, if you are broken, if you are busted, disgusted, you better examine yourself. You better examine yourself with the Most High. You got people out there complaining about their relationship with the others. Oh, I don't know why my husband ain't treating me right. I don't even know why my wife ain't acting right. She ain't doing right, you know? And then when you ask them, okay, your relationship with your significant other is not good. How is your relationship with the Most High Yahweh? And then you find out that too is not good. You need to do what you need to do. You need to do what you need to do to make it better with Him before you can ever have a chance with getting your relationship right with them.
Right.
That's what it boils down to, family.
Indeed.
You out there, we got people out there running around looking for somebody. We got folks running around waiting on somebody. No, no, no. When you do it treating the Most High right, He gonna send you somebody.
Mhm.
That's what's written. Let Him control that right person in your life if that's what you're waiting for, or you got the wrong one in your life. Let Him control them out your life. He's the one that's got the whole world in His hand. And we need to understand, we need to rely on Him first. That is our first line of defense for everything as Israelites. Everything. If you do something and you've consorted with Him and He leads you elsewhere, then that's where you go. But we gotta have our trust and our faith in the Most High Yahweh and understand this mess we have gotten ourselves in right here in America. All right. It's going to take some serious divine intervention to get us out of this hot mess, family. Okay. All right.
Kind of.
All praises. Well, that's all I got. Does anybody have any comments? Anything they wanted to add? Anything they didn't understand at this time?
The water elder for bringing forth the scripts this evening.
Indeed.
Very good lesson. I enjoyed. The videos that you played, relevant to what we're experiencing currently. When you started talking about we were leaning towards the children and how we're to discipline them. It reminded me of the relationship that the Father has with us. And, a lot of times we can look directly at the relationship we have with our children and see sometimes the headache that we might give the Father in some of our actions. Uh, you know, the Messiah spoke to the people at one point and said that, he was talking about Yehukanan the Immerser and how it was tragic, how he was done. And he says, the Son of Man comes drinking wine and eating bread, and you call him a drunkard and a rebellious son. We can find that directly coming out of Torah. And I mentioned that just to mention how our king was. The law was always in his heart. But in Deuteronomy chapter 21, it speaks about what to do with the rebellious son, this drunkard glutton. And it was to stone him. And so we come from a culture that believes in discipline, and we see that disappearing with the youth of today. And it's not something that just started. The last I've been working with children since 1999, and I have seen the morale drop here in the city. And I know that it's not just something that is a phenomenon just here in the Louisville metro area. I would say, I know for certain that these curses follow us everywhere we go.
Mm-hmm.
I'll yield there.
Khan,
Yeah.
you hit the nail on the head. You're absolutely right. We have to get back to what's real, because our lives depend on it. Our children's lives depend on us getting back to this real truth, and we got to stop letting these pagans trick us into all of their buffoonery.
That's cool. And
Gone.
Indeed.
it's like we gotta do it. I mean, as parents, we do what we can, and then sometimes parents, I don't know what it is. They're trying to be friends with their children. They're not putting in the consequences or going through the Bible to, let them know how to love the Most High, so the parents don't fear the Most High, so the children don't fear them. And it's all about modeling how we represent to our children, because we have to model our obedience and doing the things and following the laws and commandments. And that leads me to another thing that happened this week on social media. It was a tragic situation that happened to one parent, and somehow it got on my timeline. Something happened to her daughter. Her daughter was abused by some other children, and it was a horrible situation. The daughter is recovering. I think the child was about 5 or 6 or something, and some other kids did some mean things to her. Other kids, like 2 boys, 8 and 9, and another girl that was 10 from what I wrote, but I didn't get all that information until later. But when it came on my timeline, I was reading all the things that happened. I was feeling so sorrowful for the description of, what happened to the girl, and I turned over to the mother's profile to leave a comment to give my sympathy, but somehow I don't know. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong for this, but my concern was, just to give a condolences and, just to be empathetic. But when I saw her profile picture, that kind of messed me up because the profile had something that was totally not modest. She was dressing like she was going to a strip club or something like that. The profile picture threw me off.
Mm.
But I still, gave my comments, but I was asking, hey, do you mind changing your picture? Because this picture doesn't represent a mother that's needing sympathy. And I I give my sympathy to you, of course, for what happened to your daughter, but at the same time, your picture profile is a little disturbing. I didn't, and it kind of doesn't fit the, a mother wanting people to give, concern. So I said that in my text, and a lot of people got mad, put their anger emojis on what I said. But I also, gave my condolences and my sympathies to the child, and I wanted justice to happen. That they find the people, the boys or children that caused this to happen to the child. But I was just being a person of wisdom, giving a concern to a young mother that, hey, maybe your profile picture needs to be changed at the same time. And other people commented on the picture too. And some other folks that are immature got mad at me, got mad at the other people. But I stood my ground, and I included some verses about being a Titus 2 woman, a Titus 2 woman of maturity and wisdom. We want to help other young mothers who don't know. And that's a role of a woman of spiritual maturity to bring up these other parents who don't know. They don't dress right. Their daughters are not going to dress right. And not to say that's what happened to the daughter, but I was just giving my point of view as to, trying to uplift this other mother. Eventually, after I put that post up there, my comment, the next day, she changed her picture, and it was up her of the girl, just of her daughter, which is better. It was a much better picture than what was originally posted. So, anyways, but yes, we do have to uplift people, even in our words of encouragement. We still have to say something, but explain the reason why we say what we say. And I meant what I said of being modest according to what the Bible says. And if you want more spiritual support and concern from other people who care, please be respectful and change your picture. And just giving those words out really helps. So we as people, we still got to lift up our children too, but we also lifting up parents at the same time.
I hear you, sis. All praises for putting that out. Just keep in mind, sometimes it's you have to be careful with your delivery, especially when it's on social media. People don't like to be certain things they don't like people to mention in public. They don't like to be corrected, if you will, in public. If they've done something wrong, sometimes some things can be done behind the scenes with that individual. Um, So you have to be, your delivery is everything when it comes to situations like that. A lot of times, I mean, because on social media, it's easy to pick so many things that are wrong, but you can clearly tell that someone is not raised, they're not doing laws, statutes, and commandments. Sometimes it's best to just invite them if they are, show them some love and invite them, because you if you had to hang out long enough, if you saw that, you probably would have saw 20 or 30 other things that were wrong. You don't want to pick somebody apart on social media with other people reading, that you'll be there all day going back and forth. I don't recommend it. You didn't mean no harm. What you were saying, I'm sure was right, but there's a time and place for everything.
Yeah, that's true. And I just knew that if other people were commenting, and I'm sure there were a lot of people commenting about her situation, and there were other women also commenting on her to change her picture before I even made a comment. But I was also just encouraging the same thing on what these other women said,
All right, we're gonna
and
go
why
ahead
I'm
and
in
end off
agreement
here.
to what.
This uh, conversation is pretty well ended. Thank you for your time, joining Elder YahShay and this rendition of these particular scripts. And our praise to the Most High for allowing us to have another Sabbath Yom and enjoy a day of rest. Hallelujah. I am your Akazaki Yahoo, as always, giving all praises, honor, and great esteem unto the Most High Power, Yahweh, Bashem, Mashiach, Malak, YahShay, and to the 12 tribes of Israel, who were scattered to the four corners of the earth. I say Shalom, Wa, Baruch, that is peace and blessings. And I cannot wait till the day when the Most High brings us back together, and we are once again 12 tribes, one family, one nation, under the Most High Power, under one covenant, back in our own land with a heart of flesh and no more a heart of stone, with our enemies, our adversaries, and all those who hate us under our feet. Until that day come, shalom, family.